Alright, what's up? It's your boy Modern Energy Nerd back with something I haven't did in a long time. It's another modern opinion. And this video is going to be about the Jake Paul vs. Nate Diaz fight. Happened like 2 weeks ago. This is just my opinions on it and what this could possibly mean for the fight between Jake Paul and KSI that may or may not happen. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, the card for the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz fight, I will say I have no complaints about that. All of the fights were pretty well, the matchups were pretty well in my opinion. I liked it, I was fairly entertained throughout the whole card. Amazing boxers on the card that Jake Paul and his team got together. Again, fairly impressed with the card. Amanda Serrano went out there and did her thing as usual. And all of the fights the whole entire time as I was watching it with my friend, we were fairly entertained with that. All in all, the card was just pretty, the card was great. I ain't got nothing bad to say about that. Alright, so the thing is, I feel like the majority of us knew Jake Paul was going to win. It was an easy win. Well, let me take that back. It obviously wasn't an easy win, but like, what I'm saying is the way he was talking about it, no one expected Nate Diaz to just straight dog walk Jake Paul or even like beat him on the cards or anything like that. Like, at least I didn't expect that, not at all. He's doing the same song and dance. Fight an MMA fighter that's retired, beat him, say everybody doubted him, say that, you know what I'm saying, that he's the best influencer boxer. He's been doing this for a minute now. Now, I'm not going to take anything from Jake, but again, Tommy Fury has been the only boxer that he has actually fought, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, until he fights more actual boxers, I feel like he's just going to keep winning. But that's not the point of this video. This video is to talk about him against Nate Diaz. And the thing is, again, I knew he was going to win. But the thing is, he said that he was going to dog walk Nate Diaz, and I believe him, knockout, what have you, whatnot. But that's not what happened. And if this fight is any indication of how Jake Paul is currently, we're supposed to see levels here, right? It just did not look like the Jake Paul that's going to dog walk KSI. So here's what I'm talking about, because I'm pretty sure people can watch this and be like, oh, he's just a KSI dick rider. I mean, yes, I am biased. I do like KSI more than Jake Paul. I don't like Jake Paul. But it is an irrefutable fact that Jake Paul is a better boxer than KSI. Technical-wise, everything like that. Even though they started around the same time, Jake just has better technique. But here's what I'm talking about in this video, because yeah, Jake has better technique, but Nate Diaz barely had technique, and he was giving Jake Paul quote-unquote a hard time, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nate Diaz came in with his arms down. He did not come in with any type of technique or rhyme or rhythm, and he was landing some decent shots on Jake Paul when Jake Paul should have been working the jab every time he came in distance. He wasn't working the jab and letting his hands go with the jab and piecing Nate Diaz up in times they need to be pieced. Now, did he hit Nate Diaz with some great shots? Yeah, he cracked them lots of times. Nate Diaz even went to the floor one time. But the thing is, the fight just didn't show me the levels, because maybe Jake Paul wanted to last all 10 rounds, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what he wanted to do. Like, maybe he just wanted to make, be more entertaining. Maybe he let Nate Diaz survive those rounds. That could be the case. But if he was trying to display his skill and be like, yeah, I'm about to mess Nate Diaz up, blah, blah, blah. They went all 10 rounds. And in all of those 10 rounds, Nate Diaz was still there. You know what I'm saying? After he get cracked, he kept coming. After he get cracked, he kept coming. And maybe people can put that in Nate Diaz's toughness. But again, he wasn't working the jab and doing things that typical boxers would do, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when they get in the clinch, he showed his boxing IQ, piece, work around them, everything like that. But it just wasn't, me and my friend were talking about the whole fight, like, it just didn't make sense, right? Now, here's what I mean. Now, Nate Diaz came in with his hands down, and he wasn't even moving in the specific way to try to land off some shots on Jake Paul. Did he still land some? Yeah, he did. In the clinch, landed some nice uppercuts. He was hitting Jake, you know what I'm saying? There was some times I've noticed that he was really rocking Jake, right? Jake rocked him right back, you know what I'm saying? Jake won most of the rounds, but what I'm saying is Nate Diaz wasn't really on those levels that I'm like let's say KSI and Jake Paul are supposed to be on per se, right? He wasn't going at him like a influencer boxer would, or even a boxer in general. He was just kind of having fun. He was being Nate Diaz, right? Now what I'm saying is, when it comes to this KSI fight, what does this mean? You know what I'm saying? If these two ever get to the ring, Jake Paul and KSI, will he work that jab? You know what I'm saying? Will he actually work the jab and give KSI something that we haven't seen KSI face? Because yeah, KSI hasn't really boxed any real competition either, right? But the thing is though, no one has really worked that jab on KSI to where he's afraid to come inside without being popped real big, you know? And my thing was, when KSI and Jake Paul eventually fight, my thing was KSI comes in with his hands down, and I was like, when he fights Jake Paul, he gotta put his hands up, because Jake Paul is gonna piece him up with the jab and hit him with a nice combo, or hit him with that strong overhand right that put Tyron down and most of his victims down. But looking at this Nate Diaz fight, if this is anything to tell, because again, it's just my opinion, I could be wrong, because this could be many deeper layers like an onion to this, that Jake Paul was doing this on purpose to make people think that he's lost it, blah blah blah. But possibly this might mean that the KSI versus Jake Paul fight might be closer than I once originally thought, because again, I am a KSI fan, but I'm being realistic. Jake Paul versus KSI, every time people talked about it, I'm just like, Jake Paul's gonna win. Jake Paul's gonna win. Do I want KSI to win? Strong overhand right to put Jake Paul down so Jake Paul can stop talking shit? Yeah, I kinda want KSI to stop talking shit too, because again, he hasn't really showed nothing for real. But the thing is, like, I don't see that happening now, you know? Like, if Jake Paul isn't gonna start working the jab more, is KSI gonna be able to get in like Nate Diaz did, and they're gonna get into the clinch and start throwing it like that? Is KSI gonna be able to come in with that overhand right that he's always hitting on people? You know what I'm saying? That's what this fight put me in mind of, and I just think that now, especially after that Nate Diaz display, that this KSI versus Jake Paul fight might be a little closer than what we all first thought. People that hate on KSI, people that hate on Jake Paul, it might be closer. It might be closer than we all thought. But anyway, those are my thoughts. This has been your boy Modern Ninja the Nerd. I'm gonna try to upload more videos, keep on schedule. But yeah, my next video is about to be about Slim. Is he overhyped? You know, is he really the big dog when it comes to this? Yeah, he's 6-0. But has he really fought anybody? That's gonna be my next video. Anyway, it's been your boy Modern Ninja the Nerd. Peace.